Welcome back. I have you in a top-down position because after testing, making sure with reasonable certainty that most of this works, or all of this works, I'm going to button down everything, put all the screws in, and then we'll test it again to make sure it fires up. Then we might actually put some actual software on this hard drive. Now I'm putting these cables in here in a way to make sure that the top cover slides on and I won't have to worry about it after that. There we go. All of these power leads go down here. Make sure they're not caught on anything. It's not going to be pretty. This MFM cable will pop down here. Both of them. All right, let's make sure the drive can go all the way back without pinching the cables. I don't think these old 5150s and the slightly later 5160s were meant to be pretty on the inside. Getting some screws to put this drive to hold this hard drive down. Hopefully these are the right size screws. We will certainly find out soon enough. It doesn't appear so. All right, we'll use some coarser threaded screws. Hard drives typically have coarse thread screws, now that I remember. I guess that standard goes all the way back to these MFM drives. All right, that was the one. Has two screw holes on the side here. There are screw holes on the drive on the other side, but we can't get to them. Plus there's no holes on the side here for that. Oh. Drive was hanging on this stuff right here. Okay, to screw the floppy drive down, I'm going to have to take out at least this card, but I'm going to have to screw the motherboard down, so I'm going to take all the cards out. I'll pop these MFM cables off. there's the hard drive controller. Put him down. Oh. Here's the video card. It has this ribbon cable attached to it. I assume that's for an LCD of some sort. We'll leave it on there. Put him down. The floppy controller, which we know works. It's an IBM original. A serial and parallel card. And then the AST's 6-pack plus with my 2032 in the slot there. But let's pop him out of there. These aren't meant to be easily removed, I'm noticing. You have to lift up on the one end and then push until he comes out. But I'm removing that. Let's set him down here. Because I had found that I have 2325 size batteries, which is what this calls for. Let's just get one of these out of here. And it should pop in there just fine. And it does. Fits like it belongs there. All right, we're going to put him aside. We have other things to do. Let's get this floppy cable out of the way. I know after I pinned them all down, kind of counterintuitive. I think I need some of those little burgundy spacers. So that I can mount this board in its screw holes. I just wonder if I have any of those. Few spare jumpers in that one. Random parts. I looked around for a bit, couldn't find any of those little burgundy, I don't know, kind of ceramic paper circles. So the solution I came up with was a little bit of electrical tape, which you can see there, just wrapped around the edge of the board to cover both sides of the screw hole, and then poked a hole in it. We're going to do that with this side here too. I'll cut off a little piece, if that's enough. Then place it on the board like so. Then stretch it around, cover up the screw hole on the other side. It's not contacting anything but ground plane there on either side. Well, this is kind of contacting that pin, but I think it'll be all right. With that screwed down, just use the end of a pair of scissors, then pop a hole in it. Just like so. Not my proudest moment, but I think it just might work. Well, best thing we can do is try it out. I'm going to carefully guide this board back into the case here. There we go. Make sure it's in all the guides. There we go. And I believe that is over that screw hole. That will take a coarse threaded screw. Much like this one right here. All right. Lined up first try. How about that? That board isn't going anywhere. He's trapped. Put the other screw down here. It only has 2 screws that hold it in, and the rest of it is those plastic standoffs. There we go. He's in there like he belongs there. All right, to test this, I'm going to put the video card back in the slot that I had it in before. Connect him up. Lean my balding head in here. Plug him in. connect the PC speaker down here too, just so we can hear it sound off. Then we'll try it again. I am an idiot. I don't know if you can see it here. This connector and the other one's down here. I didn't plug power back into the motherboard. Of course it's not going to work. Let's fix that. There we go. All right, one more time. We got the one beep and then two, like we have been this whole time. And it seems to work just fine. All right, now where is the floppy cable? Here he is. Put the connector on, like so, and we'll push him back to where he's going to be mounted. Then we'll screw him down. All right, trying a fine threaded screw first, though I don't think that's going to work. If I keep dropping the screw. All right, you. Come here. That seemed to work just fine. So much for my thinking. All right, now it's time for the other side. I'm realizing I should have done this before putting the PC speaker on, but too late for that. All right, he's in there. May as well put a screw in the video card there. We'll see if it takes a fine threaded screw. And if not, we'll try the slightly bigger coarse threaded screw. down just fine. I think we're good. Put the speaker back on there. Now the hard drive controller doesn't have a bracket. Should be all right. It's not going to be moving much here. And he fits pretty snug there. But to cover that hole, just saw them. We use a port cover. And we'll screw that down. There we go. I'll look for a solution to keep that from flopping around. Next card I had was a floppy controller. This guy right here. Put that in the third slot. And we'll tack him down. Every time I go into my screw bin over there, I look for ones that will match the others I have on here already. He's stable. Next thing I had was the serial and parallel port card. Little short guy. Make sure he's all the way down in the slot. We'll screw him down. Then the AST 6-pack Plus will go in this last slot. Kind of frame everything in that way. Add a little reverb to the PC speaker. I don't know if that helps anything or not, but there's one. All right, snug in its place with its battery. Okay, now run this down and onto the floppy controller. Take this cable, get him down. Plug him into the hard drive controller. Then we'll put this down the same way. plug him also into the hard drive controller and put him back in his slot. And we will take these, put them over here away from everything. Get down there. Kind of a mess. All right. Everything's screwed down, well, except for this guard. But I think it'll be all right. Let's plug the keyboard back in. There we go. We'll turn him on again to make sure he works. Make sure he works like we had it before. There's him beeping, greeting us again. It showed video. I know you guys can't see that. While waiting for this to boot up, I will explain a 5150 typically with their normal power supplies, they normally have a 63 or 65 or an 80 watt power supply and would be unable to run a hard drive. This machine at some time in its history had been upgraded with this Rectron power supply. It's 150 watts. And this booted to basic. Anyway, the power supply had been upgraded at some point to a 150 watt model, which is enough to power the machine and this hard drive. Well, the computer boots, it boots to basic, but it should be booting off the hard drive. Time to take the screws out. Put those up there. Make sure everything's all right in here. I somehow managed to pull the cable away from the drive a bit down here, it seems. Make sure he's still connected. Going to just finger tighten one of the screws into the drive. Okay, I lied. But make sure it's tacked down so it'll be in the position that it's going to be in. And we'll try again. It's going to beep at us again. Seems to be his normal beep. Just cleaning off some dust here. There it goes. Booted off the hard drive just fine. All right. Glad that was a simple problem. Let's turn him off. And then we'll put the case cover back on it. We'll turn it on one last time to make sure that it works. And then we'll see some software running on this.